Hey guys, Darren here. Welcome to Mayhem Country Living. We're going to go out around the property and we're going to look for an herb. Galium aparine is the Latin name for this herb. You may know it as cleavers or goosegrass, anything like that. It has many different names. That's the problem with common names, because you get them mixed up. The stuff that our grandparents knew and told us may not be the same thing we know about. Or also regionally, I know it as cleavers here in the Northeast. Someone might know it as goosegrass. It's the same thing. So the Latin name gives you a little bit more definition and clarification. Why would you even bother with this thing? Well, it's a fantastic poultice. It can be used on skin irritations, rashes, burns. Crush it up and make a poultice from the fresh leaves and stems, and it works really well. Dried, this herb, these stems can be made into a really powerful lymphatic cleanser to just to help detoxify your system. Also, it is a member of the coffee family, so the leaves, so the seeds, not the leaves or the stems, can actually be roasted, crushed, and used as a coffee substitute. And these do contain some amount of caffeine, not as much as a cup of coffee, but they do contain caffeine. So, as far as an alternative to coffee, this is a good one. This is a really good. Now we're going to get ready. We're going to go outside and I'm going to show you the plants. I'll show you some I've already picked and some I've dried, and then I'll show you some that I have saved from last year that I used to make teas with. More to come, guys. Okay guys, now we are back and I wanted to show you this one. You'll notice the white flowers on here. The Greek physician Discordes had actually recorded in one of his books thousands of years ago that the farmers of that time used the white leaves to curdle milk for cheese making process. You can see these things mat together so well. They'd get a big thick mat of these, and they made sure that it had the white flowers on it, and they would use to filter the milk through it. And that there's a component in there that aids in the cheese making. It actually helps or makes the milk to curdle. Now you can, like if you needed to, twist it up, squish it, let juices come out. You can rub a little bit on bee sting or burn, something like that. Now there is always something to be said about being careful if you're going to test medicinal herb or anything on your body, in your system. Do it a little bit and see if you have any kind of reaction, because you can be reactive or sensitive to dang near anything. Now, the seeds can be harvested, like I was saying, to make a coffee, and I will show them to you. They're not quite ready to harvest, but I guess into focus, and you'll see the seed develop and they will start to turn kind of a red-brown to a black color, and they are ready to harvest. Now, this can be used fresh also. As a young plant, it can be eaten. It is an edible. You can make it into a nice spring salad. The thing is, if you let it get too old, too big, you'll really start to taste or feel the hook and loops, so it will be kind of scratchy when you eat it. So, more to come, guys. Alright guys, now we're back. One thing you always want to remember also is the location of where you're getting these herbs. I am pulling these off of my property. I am away from the road, and I have this fence here because you don't want to use an herb that has been sprayed by the roadside crews for eradication. But we're just going to reach in here and get us a good handful. And again, you would just fold this up and put this over one milk pail and pour the milk through it. Also, it's used as a stuffing for mattresses, or were used for tacks and stuff like that. There we go. Because the thing is, once you fold it, pack it, stays together. I'm going to take this inside, I'm going to let this thing dry out, and we will use this for the teas. The thing about drying herbs is a lot of them lose their potency after about a year. So every year, for the more common stuff I like to pick fresh and dry it for the next year. That way I always have some fresh on hand, and it's at the best use. Now, also, again, I want to say, check, do your research. I want people to go behind me and look and check to make sure of what I'm telling you. You can do Wikipedia, you know, and go to a lot of different sites, but you always want to have different points of reference when you are using herbals, because you never know when somebody could be telling you something in error, you know, not intentionally, but you just want to be aware of that. More to come, guys. Okay, guys, so that is going to wrap this video up. But Cleavers, it's a good plant to know about. It's a good plant to have on the homestead, as far as preparedness as well. It is a good medicinal herb. Again, preface everything with a little bit of caution and do the good things. Make sure, check, research, do a test area, and make sure you are not reactive yourself to it. Although it is a very gentle and mild herb, everything in moderation. Alright guys, now we're going to wrap everything up. Do your due diligence. Check and research this thoroughly. Talk to someone who is more experienced than you, who has done it. Check some reference material. Also get a good book on herbs and medicinal herbs. In just a second, you're going to see a picture of my ugly mug pup over here, as well as my beautiful wife. On the opposite side, there are going to be some videos if we are indeed your brand of wacky. Guys, take care of you people.